I'm Denise Tayloe. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Privacy Vaults Online. We're known in the market as PRIVO, but we'll answer to PRIVO or PRIVO. We're a privacy solutions company addressing minors' digital identity and verifiable parental consent. Obviously, being here at this summit is important because it's a topic we've been addressing for the last 10 plus years, and it's good to see people talking about what the new approach might be, but sometimes the new needs to be informed by the old. We can't limit ourselves to any one particular methodology or approach. I believe that at this very moment, I could hand you an age-based token and say, I believe you're an adult and I didn't see anything about you, right? So we have to be able to take what's happening in the real world and make sure that the real world is taken into account in the standards. Regulatory, I'm in the children's space. It started 20 plus years ago in the US with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, and it basically said, if you are a company collecting data from somebody 12 or younger, you must first obtain verifiable parental consent. So this is a big use case for identity. It's not just age verification, it's identity and age verification, it's relationship verification, it's coupling that at different ages and stages, and then looking at each jurisdiction, because more and more countries are now getting in the game. What is their age? So you have to be jurisdictionally aware to understand all of the regulations as they're coming, but really they're just fine-tuning off of each other. And they're very, I think there's probably an 80% common theme amongst all of them. So let's get the base, and then each individual jurisdiction we can tweak up and down based on what the culture and what the appreciation for this sort of thing is in those areas and regions. First of all, I think companies have to subject themselves to independent assessments and audits of what they do. I think if we're the fox watching the hen house, it's hard for any of us to really get to that trustworthy place that we need to be. So my company operates a certification program under the law I just mentioned, under COPPA, where we go in and do the DPIA, look at the privacy notices, do packet scan analysis. Is the data that's leaving the devices really the data that you believe is? Asking questions, assessments, and then feeding that against what we see as the results of the app or service. So I think that when you look at certifying age assurance, it's one piece of a big puzzle, right? And that you need to have compliance, ongoing compliance checks, bring in third-party assessors throughout the journey. So I think this is just, getting with the program, right? It's just another certification that will be important for people to do. Okay, well, I would say, if we could call adoption innovation, as more and more people adopt claiming their own data to themselves, sort of bringing their identity and their tokens and their verifications along with them. The age verification business might become quite a commodity, right? Because as we start to sort of control our own data and show up with the fact that we've already taken the time to verify ourselves from a technological standpoint, why would we want to do that over and over and over again? So portable identity is going to be very important. We've been talking about it for a long time at PRIVO. Privacy Vaults Online was initially bank your information, verify your identity, associate your loved ones, and manage the collection, use, and disclosure of your data. So this common theme of federation, reusability of what you've done is really important. I think that if we try to take age assurance standards and make them so rigid that any particular method is what is the end-all, be-all, we're going to lose. We have got to, our experience is we offer many choices, and it has to be contextual. Knowing the proper age for children, for instance, is it might be just newsletters or communication or joining a contest or uploading your video. It doesn't always have to be just the higher, riskier areas. To cut to the chase, I see people owning their own identity, getting verified about who they are and what their ages are, certain attributes about themselves, and in an interconnected internet, we're going to be able to leverage that across many services. So the standards are important to have guardrails, but they just can't be prescriptive of how we actually get there method by method. There is something coming that I think is very innovative, and that is, in the children's space, we're going to allow parents to simply tell us the age of their children. Bind that to their phone numbers, their emails, their handles, their connected devices, and signal to age-restricted products and services, there's a child knocking at the digital door. Beware, take the next step in your journey that's going to keep you compliant with having the knowledge, the actual knowledge that there's a child trying to get into your service. So I think that's going to be very important. As we're verifying, we're also allowing pre-verified and parents to take this step with their children and kind of meet in the middle. At the end of the day, age assurance is about, are you a minor, and then what age within a minor, or are you an adult? So at some point, we've taken care of that. Once you've verified you're an adult, you're going to be an adult for a long time if you're lucky, right? They say we live to 70-something years old. So it's going to be, are you really the one on the other side of that phone necessarily? COVID took away a lot, and it didn't allow people to get together in person, and in person is so important. We've all been Zooming our way from meeting to meeting to meeting. We go to the, we gather together, which is great. But when you come to an event like this and you get to touch flesh and shake a hand, see somebody in their eye, when you can see and hear them talking to somebody else and sort of pause and listen and interject where it's appropriate, it's a whole different experience than just doing that behind a flat screen, right? When you can't see how people are wiggling, moving to the answers, you really don't get the whole picture. You just get what the mouth is saying. So coming here is, look, we had to be here. We have to be part of this. We want to be part of this. And it's I think, amazing that so many different groups and different constituents are here today talking about the issues, trying to get to the bottom of it. Because at the end of the day, we're just trying to have a safer, more trustworthy, and more enabled internet for all people of all ages.